Hello, I'm Markus Leskinen and I'm a neonatologist in Children's Hospital in Helsinki, Finland. And today I will be giving you a brief introduction about using big data analysis to study preterm infants in the NICU. As for financial conflicts, I have nothing to disclose. In this presentation, I will be defining big data and describe how NICU produces it by using our dataset as an example. And I will be showing you some results regarding quality control and also how big data can be used to track implementation of policy changes. And I'll try to encourage you to start thinking about big data and how you could collect also in your unit. So, what is big data? Traditionally, datasets that are either too large or too complex to be analyzed by traditional approaches have been considered to be big data, and quite common definition is that of 3 V's, that is volume, velocity and variety. And as you might know, intensive care is quite data intensive. We have constant monitoring of vital signs producing large datasets. We have constant inflow of new data, and we need to combine various data sources, often with unstructured data. So we're actually ticking all the boxes for big data. We have volume, we have velocity, and also we have variety. We also need to visualize the data we are gathering, and this has led to early development and adoption of centralized information systems in intensive care. We use them for data collection, data analysis, visualization, and also storage. And now systems for decision support are also emerging. So in our dataset in Children's Hospital in ICU, we record pretty much everything what happens in the NICU. We have had the same system in different versions since 1999 with over 2,000 very low birth weight infants in the database. We record vital signs with automatic collection of monitor data. We also have automatic collection of ventilator data, but with NCPAP and nasal high flow cannulas we had to enter the values by hand. All the medications, both the orders from doctors and administration notes from the nurses, are recorded. The same goes for enteral and parenteral nutrition. Daily medical records, nursing reports are stored as a free text, and then most laboratory results and all the diagnoses are stored, as well as administrative data containing length of stay, discharges and deaths. And most of this data are structured. So, to give an example how this can be used for quality control, we have in the database over 30 million measurements of oxygen saturation, and also the daily target range is entered by the doctors. What should be the lowest target level and highest target level? And when we were looking how well our actual oxygen saturation measurements fall within this target range, we know that contrary to hypothesis, we have the best adherence to target limits during weeknights and weekends, not during weekdays like we had expected. You can see that the changes are quite small, but when we have such a huge sample size, they are statistically significant. We can also use this data to look for human factor. We are using automatic measurements of pulse oxygen saturation from pulse oximeters, but also the nurses are writing down the oxygen saturation. And when we have the automatic collection, we have the light pink curve, very beautiful bell curve, note the logarithmic scale. But with manual recordings, you can notice those peaks. So at 10, 20, 30, we have peaks, which tells me that actually we humans, when we see 49 in the oximeter, we don't write down 49, we write 50. So we are rounding. Also, you see that the curve is shifted to the left, meaning that we have more low saturations in the manual recordings, meaning that when there's something wrong with the baby, the nurses will write down the saturation. So if we would be trusting solely on the manual data, we would be getting a misleading picture. Big data can also be used to track the effect of policy changes. Before support and boost 2 trials, we had oxygen saturation target range from 88 to 94%. And when it turned out that this might not be such a good idea, we changed in the late summer 2011 target range to 90 at lower limit and 95 as an upper limit. You can see that after the new policy, the oxygen saturation levels were within 1 year universally adapted. So and also oxygen saturations increased. So why your unit should start thinking about big data analysis? I think the best reason is that you are already doing the hard part. You're already collecting the data. And if you are anything like us, you have been using it only for clinical purposes, and otherwise you have been sitting on it. So you have all this data, and you could as well as use it to make more informed choices. Also, new tools have made data analysis easier, but you still need collaboration with experienced data scientists. And analyzing the historical data from your unit, it can give you very important information. It can be used for quality control, it can be used to assess variation, adherence to policies, and also to identify outliers. And this helps you to lead with data. You are much better able to identify problems and also finding trends from the data. Also, decision support systems are emerging, and to be able to fully utilize them, you need to fine-tune them with the local data. Thank you.